everyone, you're listening to the Tea with Tanya podcast, and I'm your host, Tanya Ambrose. I'm a public health professional by day and your average tea-loving millennial and content creator by night. My goal for this podcast is to share public health stories, self-love and wellness tips, to educate and empower, and to promote positive living. This podcast is here to serve you. Join me in the tea tasting room to see what I have brewing for you. Hello guys, welcome back to Tea with Tanya. Thank you for joining me here in the tea tasting room. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in this world. And of course, I do want to thank you guys again for tuning in to another episode. In today's episode, I had a very candid conversation with someone that I met and connected with online, and who's also a fitness trainer, and for someone like me who I'm trying to do better in all aspects, not just mental, but definitely physical health as well. He's someone that I look up to, I've reached out to for advice, who has helped me on my journey, even though I have not been as consistent. So I definitely had a candid conversations. He's my Caribbean brother. He's from Jamaica. You guys know him from Antigua. And sometimes you may hear some patois in between, but it was just fun to have a casual conversation as it relates to, our health and our fitness journey and our wellness as well, and not trying to have such a strict routine in a sense where we're watching other people or we're not doing things for ourselves. So you'll hear that in this conversation. But of course, as you know, I am going to share this week's affirmation of the week or for the week. And this one, I'll tell you, after I say what it is, I'm going to tell you why I'm inspired to have this one be this week's affirmation for the week. This week's affirmation is, I am aligned with the energy of abundance. I'm going to say that again. I am aligned with the energy of abundance. And let me tell you why I said that. Towards the latter part of 2022, I became very intentional about manifesting or attracting abundance. I had a plan for my life. I don't want to be unrealistic, but I knew that in order for me to get the blessings that I deserve, or for me to accomplish some of the things that I want to, I had to have a spirit or energy of abundance, and also move and act with an abundant mindset and in a space for abundance. Welcome that abundance, however that may look. One of my goals, I want to have a certain amount of downloads for my podcast. It's why I invested in the podcast retreat with Amelia, for me to grow and develop my podcast and put out authentic content that's authentic to who I am, show my personality. Since I started back, the podcast has been doing way better than I even imagined. For me as well, I remember the latter part of 2022 as well, I spoke about needing a raise at work because, I have other things to do, and knowing that all the work that I do, it's deserved. And I remember, telling my coworkers and telling my friends that, and let me tell you guys, this week when I'm recording this particular episode, I got an email from work stating that we're going to be getting a raise. And I remember this particular day I was in the office with my two friends / my coworkers. And I remember when the email came in, I said something and my other coworker laughed at me. And when her email came in as well, and we saw what was happening, we started jumping, it was like we had a whole praise and worship in the office. Don't ask me why, I don't know what we were thinking. We should have recorded that, but some moments you just can't always catch on camera. And I remember my other friend was saying that, didn't you say you had a dream about us getting a raise and needing to make more money this year, even if it's passively or whatever we have to do? And I said, yes. And she said, look at it coming true. Now, I'm not saying I'm a prophet or anything. No, that was just me speaking with an abundant mindset and wanting and attracting and getting aligned with the energy of abundance. Because this particular affirmation, I've said it probably almost every day since September of 2022, to be quite honest with you. But this, to see certain things happening in my life as it relates from an abundance mindset, that's why I'm sharing this with you guys. So you think about what you want. Do you want pay increase? Do you want a job? Like, what is it that you're trying to attract for your life as it relates to abundance? So definitely right, I am aligned with the energy of abundance. And as you guys know, out of the exercise you can do at the end of this episode is to take 5 minutes for yourself. There's 5 minutes. And today or this week, I want for you to write out what you can do or what you're going to do to attract the energy of abundance, and even write out what is it that you want, what is it that you're attracting. It could be more food, it could be more money, it could be fruitful and meaningful friendships. Whatever it is, just remember, write out, how can I attract, or how can I get aligned with the energy of abundance. So that's why I chose this week's affirmation. But anyway, let's get into today's episode. A candid conversation with Mr. J, talking about fitness and health and how we can get started on our fitness journey. So welcome to Tea with Tanya, Mr. J.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
And how are you doing today?
I'm good. Can't complain.
Well, yeah, tell my audience a little bit about yourself. You know, we're nosy over here in the tea tasting room. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do, how you got into this industry.
Where do I start?
Well, you tell me. We have a while.
Well, born in Jamaica, been here since 1995. Fast forward, used to play sports, used to play soccer and baseball. So that's how I got into fitness. Pretty much I've been working out since I was 13 years old.
Oh, that's a long time.
What are you trying to say?
I'm not trying to say anything. I'm just saying you're saying soccer, and I'm just confused because where we're from, guys, we say football, but as he said, he's been living in the U.S. since 1995. So I guess he has become a full blown American. And this is not saying anything, but around the globe, it's called football. But he said he used to play soccer and baseball. That's how you got.
Well, I don't know your audience, so I got to make it for them.
No, you're right. You're right. So you're catering to the U.S. based audience, and I'm gonna cater to the other global audience. So he used to play soccer, aka football, or football, aka soccer. But anyway, guys, thank you for letting us know about that. One of my questions that I have for you as it relates to fitness, and I'm asking this for myself, but of course for those listening, how can someone get started on their fitness journey? And the reason why I'm asking that, because you've been in my DMs, I'm supposed to start and never start, and then there's always something. One, because I'm busy, yes.
For the last 6 years, yes.
I think for me, it comes down to it's like a mindset. So how does someone who's never in their entire life worked out? For me, I used to play sports I used to play netball, basketball. I used to run track. And then I moved to the United States about, almost 14 years ago. That is crazy. But anyway, almost 14 years ago, and I haven't been as active as I was when I first, versus living back in Antigua. So how does one get started with their fitness journey?
Just find your reason. The reason for you want to get up and do something. A lot of people spend time watching TV. They're on Instagram, not making any money. So that time that you're using, hey, I'm just saying.
No, be real.
The time that you're using to do other things, just get up and go for a walk. A walk can turn into you want to run. Might want to run a marathon, walk a marathon. It's up to you, how your body's going to respond to that. Just get up and do something. It's just to find it in you. It's hard for, like you said, I've been bugging you for years now.
Not years, guys. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, it's hard for somebody else to find it for you. You have to dig deep and see why you want to start exercising and just start moving around.
Okay, I know you said that. So, okay, we got to find a reason. Yeah. I feel like for me, I thought I had a reason. One, it was obviously for health purposes. The other one was just to get back in physical shape because I don't like how I look. And then going back home in 2022, everybody's telling me, oh, Tanya, the Caribbean or probably Black people. Oh, the first thing, they don't ask you how you're doing. The first thing they want to ask you, or they will say, oh, you put on weight, man, or you gain some weight or something of the sort.
They hear that all the time.
And I won't say I'm insecure, but I know I have seen the physical changes in my body, and I'm just like, what is going on here? But for me, sometimes I've started and I'll stop, and then I get lazy. And I know you say we got to find our reason. But what about for those of us like myself who have 1,000,001 jobs or do a lot? You're in school, you just have a busy lifestyle. Outside of finding our reason, how can we start? I mean, I know you said walking, but let's say someone, they prefer to go to the gym or have a trainer or something. How can they incorporate their fitness routine in a busy schedule? What can we do? You say walking, but how can we even incorporate that into our busy school or at 9 to 5 routine?
Yeah, if you're busy with school and work, because a lot of people are doing that these days, going back to school and working. So you can always just do an online class where it's a virtual class, because with the pandemic, that's a big thing now for people who cannot get to the gym. Some of my trainer friends are still doing virtual training for clients who cannot make it for their one-on-one session because of work and school. So you can always put on a YouTube video when you come home, quick 30-minute workout.
Mm.
Instead of going on Instagram once again, going back to that phone, use a phone for your advantage and use it for a workout. You can find any trainer on YouTube and just do a workout for yourself. If you're self-conscious
Yeah.
of going into a gym, in-home workouts are always good. The one-on-one training in home is always good. Get somebody to come to your place or virtual training. So whatever your excuses of not be able to get up and do something, you can there's an answer for everything when it comes to me.
I realize that, I get that too, because for me now, I've been trying to get to my, what is it, 10K steps every day, but I don't have an Apple Watch. And, I'm new to the Apple family, really and truly. But I'm like, do I need an Apple Watch? But then I'm realizing that no, I need to actually get active, because I sit behind a computer every day. So now when I'm working from home, I try to go outside and walk around my apartment complex for like 5 minutes, or if I'm at work, I try to get up. But then in my mind, I'm like, oh, it's not tracking my steps. So I feel somewhat discouraged. So like, am I doing it to see the 10K or even 5K on my phone, or are we doing it to please somebody else, or am I doing it for myself? So within the last week or two, I'm like, you know what, let me make it a mission to try to walk and start somewhere, because I know there's also, benefits for walking around, like you mentioned earlier, instead of just scrolling on our phone.
Yes,
And even though sometimes I preach on here about social media being for good, which it is, that's how you and I connected. That's how most of my guests would connect. But the time for me, I know, like one day I was like, oh, I was telling my friend, oh my goodness, I didn't even go on TikTok all day. What is that for me to even say? First of all, like, think about that. And this is not me bashing any social media platform, really, but what is that for me to say, oh, I haven't even been on TikTok all day?
because we're glued
That
to our
same
phone.
time, I was going to, right. So that same time I was going to take my phone, I could put on as they say, a virtual YouTube workout, or I could have taken that time to walk around or get up and walk. Because sometimes I'm scrolling on TikTok, and before I know it, 30, 40 minutes has already went by. And during that time, I could have gotten a 10, 15-minute workout in it as well.
Ex-
So as you guys are hearing here from Jay,
King
find your
Ferdinand.
reason, King
Yes.
Ferdinand, find your reason, find your reason, and definitely try to incorporate it. There's no excuse. We can't talk about, oh, I don't have time to go to the gym. I spoke on our previous episodes about creating routine and finding structure and balance. And I think I've mentioned that, being mindful of what we're doing. You can have a morning routine, you can have a nighttime routine, you can even have a midday during the day routine, right,
Exactly.
Jay? Where you can again walk. So my question is, for me, like I'm saying, I want to walk 10,000 steps a day. It's not impossible. That's my personal goal. But on the other hand, I feel like walking is not enough. So what do I do to get active and be on that 100% fitness
Well,
routine, so that it can, of course, benefit
like you
my health?
touched on earlier, find that balance. If you have to be at work at a certain time, just get up an extra 30 minutes and do some exercise. I know everybody love their sleep. I don't know where they get this thing from that sleep is important, but I can get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and work out. I can get up at 4 and work, train with a client. It's like it's up to your mindset of you wanting to get up and better yourself. So you're gonna find that time within your schedule, busy schedule, to say, hey, 30 minutes, 45 minutes to myself. This is the time for my to like clear my head and just get out and do something. There's a lot you can do at home. Once again, I'm going back to home because with a lot of people busy schedule,
Right,
with busy
right.
schedule, there's so much you can do at home.
So tell us some things we can do to get active at home.
We can start like with my friends. Everyone always bugged me about, hey, how can I get fit again? This. I give them like 100 push-up
Right.
challenge. Every day you have to get up and do 100 push-ups.
100
Yes, it doesn't have
push-ups.
to be all at one, but
Okay.
before the end of the day, make sure you get to that 100 point. And the other day,
Right.
my friend, I gave him that challenge like 3 months ago. Now he's up to 500 push-ups a day without me even saying anything to him. So it's like just that simple push-up. Say, hey, just start with push-ups, squats, sit-ups, burpees, crunches, whatever you like to do that's easier on your limbs, on your body to
Mm-hmm.
maintain at that time, and just start from there.
All right, so you heard that, guys. You can start with some push-ups. You can start with some
Squats,
some
some
squats,
sit-ups,
some
burpees.
burpees, sit-ups. You can just do. I'm assuming 10 to 15, because I'm just thinking about where I am in my
10,
in my
10
fitness
to 15. Oh
sets.
God,
I don't know.
no. Because that's okay. How about three sets of 15?
Okay, 3 sets of 15. And how often should we exercise or do these different things?
Exercise about, well, strength training, I'll go for like 3 to 4 times a week. And then cardio 2 to 3.
Hmm.
Depends on what you're trying to accomplish within yourself. If you're trying to
Uh,
build up your endurance, you do a little bit more high intensity cardio base. If you're trying to go with strength, you have to incorporate that more into it.
well, tell me this, because I know you train. I met you by way of you training one of my best friends, and she's a woman, obviously, guys listening here. And so, what are some benefits of strength training for women? Because in my mind, I can go lift 100 pound. What is it? Weight in my
Yeah.
mind. Because younger me probably could have done that. Well, I'm getting up there in age now.
Yes.
But what are some benefits when it comes to strength training for women, and what does that look like? Like what I know you said we can, if you want to do about upper body or strength or endurance, but define strength training, or what do you do for that?
For my clients, for all of the ladies in my group that I train, which is a lot of them, they just want to have like stronger back, stronger legs. So once again, it goes back to what they want and my years of training because I'm going on 14 years now.
Oh wow.
So
Mm-hmm.
I know how to push and use my experience to help them reach that goal. So
Mm-hmm.
the women body is already strong. We don't give them enough credit for that because the things that you guys go
Mm-hmm.
through, we can't
Right.
even go through that. So strength training is more it's more of a mindset because you
Mm.
guys mine are very strong when it comes to that already.
We are. We
So the
are.
strength training part is mostly for toning and like your best friend will say she like to get snatched. So
That's what the girlies call it. Trying to get
yeah, so it's
snatched.
like it's more for your body and how you're trying to have your body look when it comes to incorporating that strength training. It's like getting your lower back stronger, your hamstrings, your glutes. So all the important parts that a lot of people slack on.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that a person needs to have a personal trainer in order to, again, probably practice strength training or even, I guess, cardio? I mean, I know you mentioned the YouTube,
Yes.
but if we're trying to attack like certain, let's say for strength or endurance, like you mentioned earlier, do we need a personal trainer for that?
I'm a
Answer.
trainer, so I'm
Okay.
going to say yes. But I always tell my
Right.
clients, you're coming to me for more than results. You're coming to me to learn because
Mm.
most of my clients are not going to stay with me forever. My longest
Mm-hmm.
lasting client is what, 12 years now? He's been with me.
Mm.
So, with everything that we're going through, don't take this as, oh, I'm coming for a great workout. Coming is as a teaching lesson. You are going to learn
Mm.
from this. I don't have to, when I tell you to do certain exercise, you should know what that is already by me teaching you.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have to like keep showing you over and over. So it's a learning
Right.
lesson for my clients. So yes, if you want to learn the simple exercise and how to do them correctly, you can go up to like 6 months to a year if you find like a great trainer to really teach you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm big on form. I hate when my clients are doing something wrong. It drives me crazy.
Oh, so you're one of those trainers that we have to be
Yes,
perfect. After you've educated us and you've taught us, more
yes.
than one occasion,
Then the
obviously.
Jamaican comes out in me.
Right.
So yeah,
Guys, let me tell you, it's very, like, growing up in a Caribbean household or having Caribbean people in your life, you have to be so good at what
very
you do. Like,
disciplined.
we're very disciplined, we're very competitive. So
Yes.
I don't know why that seems to that sometimes. I mean, I am disciplined when it comes to, but when it comes to working out, I don't know what's going on with me. But I'm gonna get there in time for the new year. I mean, we're in the new year now,
It's
but
it's
by
it's
my new year
February.
starts when my birthday. I mean, we're not right now, not really there
Uh,
yet, but
I
almost.
know.
But all right.
What's
So
stopping
for
you
someone
from
listening
what's
here,
stopping you
what's
from
oh guys, so he's interviewing me in my own
yes.
podcast. That's a great question. What's stopping me? If I can be transparent, I don't know.
So
I'm
there you go.
just, I'm just busy, and I think I keep making excuses. I'm gonna put it that way. In my mind, I think, oh, I'm still 16-year-old Tanya, where I can run around a 400 meter, 800, without even feeling tired, or I can play 4 quarters of a netball game or basketball. I think I'm still that person in my mind. Physically, I'm not, and I think I used to make excuses for me not being active. Like, oh, I have different jobs, oh, I'm tired. Which sometimes, we are really genuinely
Yes.
tired, but like you would have mentioned, our mindset sometimes we just have to push. And I try to operate from a pushing through mindset because, again, you're from the Caribbean, sometimes you have to There's no letting up. You could have the worst pain in your
You gotta
body.
keep
You got
pushing.
to push
Yes.
through. Granted to make sure that it's healthy, but sometimes they also know that we, as kids growing up, or even as adults, we have become lazy. So I think for me is not setting the time aside for myself, even now that I have more time to an extent to incorporate. Because like you mentioned earlier, what is the reasoning for you wanting to work out? Is it because it's a trend? Is it because you want to? I remember one time you even asked me, "What's my reason?" And I told you, "Well, I want to be healthy."
Yes.
Because guys, and I'm really a little bit TMI here. I don't have normal bowel movements like everybody else. I don't know why that situation skipped me, but I'm having to take certain medication in order for me to fix that. But my doctor did tell me, if I start being more physical, then I will be able to see a change. And when I was physical, I have seen a change in that regards. But then for some reason, I don't know. I don't know. So
And,
it's just a
and
mindset
that
for
will
me.
help
So
with
I'm
your
sure
sleeping
somebody
as well.
listening
That
here
will help with your sleeping because you sleep so much better.
working out.
Yes, working out. It's good for you sleeping. Like
Tell
I
us
feel more
why.
at ease when I work out. Like my mind is I use my workout to clear my mind. And sometimes when you
No,
go to bed
I'm
on ease, you kind of tend
yeah.
to turn a lot and move
Right.
around. So
Me.
my workout is to help
Yes.
me clear my mind. Sometimes I don't even like use my earphones. I just like focus
Mm.
on what I'm there for, and like in that moment, I can listen to myself instead of audio in my ears to
Yeah.
what I need
Yeah.
to go through in that moment to like just clear my mind and just get through that day.
Well, I'm glad you said that because I remember seeing something somewhere, and I wish I had that with me. But anyway, I remember seeing something saying that working out or even engaging in some sort of physical activity as it relates to your body not only helps you physically, but it also helps you
Yes.
mentally. And you're right, because the times when I used to work out, I would feel like my brain on a regular day goes a mile per second, not a mile per minute, got a mile per second. So you can imagine how many things is in my brain and going all over. So I can't even focus or pay attention to what I'm paying attention to. But I can recall when I was working out, even on the days when it used to be hard, because I used to be one of those at home workout person, and then I stopped them, I don't know, months ago. But I would, try to go to the gym, but I always find an excuse. Oh, it's too cold, or again, not honoring my reason for working out. But I used to remember going to sleep in peace or at
Yes.
peace versus now I'm twisting and turning on my mind. I can't get my
Because
mind
your mind
to
is still racing
shut
from
off.
everything that you've gone through the
Yeah,
day.
yeah. So I'm glad you said that. It's the importance, guys, of working out because it helps to ease your mind and it helps you to sleep better. And I'm sure many of you can relate of not being able to sleep
Exactly.
as peaceful as we should be sleeping because we're so caught up with everything in this world or in our lives or day to day activities. So that's definitely a
A-
good thing. So I guess that's another reason why we should
And for another
keep
thing,
our
for you
health.
talking about earlier about the 10,000 steps, don't work hard for your watch. Work hard for yourself.
Drive me. Say that again. Say it
Don't work out for that watch.
again.
Work out for yourself. Because sometimes I don't even charge my Apple Watch for like a week just to show up to
Wow,
the gym
crazy.
because I'm like, oh my God, I didn't get my steps. And I see all my friends workout will show up on my watch because it's like a group of us. Like, oh, this guy just
Right.
finished his workout. I'm like, okay. I'm still working out. I'm just not activating my watch while I'm working out because my mind is active. My watch doesn't need to be active.
Ooh.
So you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good thing, guys. If you're listening, because I know many of us are probably listening to my voice, we try to do things for the aesthetics for social media. Not
Yes.
everyone, but sometimes I'm not gonna act like there's not certain influence because that's why we have influencers out here. There's not gonna be some sort of influence. Oh, let me buy some workout clothes to look cute as well. So also don't spend your
Exactly.
money buying outfit clothes to look cute
I
and
was about
not
to say that too.
utilize.
I'm like Lululemon and all these things doesn't push your workout. I wear my Target clothes and I'm still working out as hard.
Right, so you can look cute, but definitely try to look cute, but doing it for yourself and not for the aesthetics, not for your watch or your phone
Yes.
or just to someone. And I think that's a big thing for me personally. Thinking, I'm not thinking I need to work out for anyone, but worrying about my steps. Like the other day, I'm like, oh, you only did 5K. I said, I knew I did more than this, but I didn't have the phone in my hand or in my pocket with me. It was in my office or it was in my room. So then by the time I'm walking around, I'm like, oh my goodness, this could have definitely been 5,000 steps to take me to that 10K. So and that's when I realized I was more focused on trying to, I guess, beat the phone or prove the phone wrong.
Yes.
And it wasn't about myself. So I'm glad you said that. We got to
And
work
be not
out for
and try
us.
not to like be afraid to show your failures. If you're gonna work out and like show your fitness journey, show from where you
Mm,
started, like show the worst of your videos of you messing up and then that will show you improvement throughout your journey. Because you ask how does somebody start a journey? It's like starting a book.
Mm-hmm.
You have to like start from the first page and like work yourself through it.
No, no, that is true. And if for me, being in the maternal world is like starting when you just found out you're pregnant.
Yes.
Then you're like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? The minute you find out you're pregnant, you stop drinking, you stop smoking. You start do everything in your power. So as you go on that 9 month journey to make sure that you are healthy and your baby is also healthy.
Yes.
So I like when you said document our
And you
journey because sometimes we like to show the success and not the
yes,
failures.
and for every ladies out there who want a family and who want to have kids, the journey starts now. It doesn't start when you first find out that you're pregnant.
I want you to say that again because I'm a big birthy maternal girl here, so I really want you to say that again.
Yeah,
And why?
it's important to start your journey now before you find out that you're pregnant because you need to take care of your body years in advance. Not, oh, I'm pregnant now. I need to start doing this and that. You don't need to be drinking all the time and be eating bad. Like you can eat the meal that you love in a healthier way.
Hmm.
And
Define healthier way. Like, is it proportion or the types of food we're
oh,
eating?
for us Caribbean people, it's a lot of grease. So
Yes.
everyone is like, "Oh, you love jerk chicken." I'm like, "Yeah, I can put a chicken in the oven and put some jerk sauce in it and still give it the same flavor."
I remember having a doctor telling me she was Jamaican too, but she lives in I think it's Mississippi or something, and she said, again for us, we the way we prepare our food sometimes may not that we are more knowledgeable
Yes,
isn't always the healthiest, but she told me, try to eat in proportions as well as have some greens.
yes,
Or as sometimes that we say the gum provision, but even the gum provision that we have back home, they're more starchy.
yes, a lot.
But she did tell me, yeah.
Like back in Jamaica, we make salads and put sugar inside of it. I'm like, why?
Oh my,
Yeah, back in
really?
Jamaica, my mom does that. I'm like, I can't eat this. She's like, look at you, you're maga, you need to eat. I'm like, no, not this way.
Guys, if you're from the US or anywhere, MAGA means that you're really
See, sorry, I
like it
went
means
back
you're
into
really
that way.
skinny. No, you're fine. I love it. It just means that you are on the slimmer side
Yes.
of things. So wow. So definitely, you say for pregnant moms, we gotta prime our bodies by working out and
Yes,
eating.
start before you even start a family. Start before you even find a husband. Like do so you know that you're doing it for
Mm,
yourself. So when it's
right.
when it's time to like and go out and meet somebody, you're not like, oh, I'm trying to look good for this guy, this good person. It's like do everything for yourself. Don't ever lose yourself within that journey.
Right. No, I'm glad you said that because being physical or priming your body now as you are, they call it the TTC, trying to conceive. Even if you're not thinking like Jay just said about, you want to have kids, but you don't want to wait until you find that boyfriend or find that husband or whoever it is, partner
Yes.
to start working on. Because then sometimes, in maternal world now, when you get to a certain age, from 35 and up, you're considered like a geriatric mom, which is just crazy to me, but that's a different story. But you are considered more high risk the older you get. So I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to you. I'm like, oh, I gotta start priming my body really and truly for when that time comes. And then when it even comes to labor and delivery, moms listening, it helps to have a much smoother transition or a much smoother delivery when that time comes. And I know it may sound cliche, but being physical and walking around in your complex, doing the basic
Yes.
things that you can do, obviously prior and even during, it does help when it comes to you getting ready to give birth. And we talk about the snapback body. We see a lot of celebrities and people talking about you snap back really quick. Again, that's because you're priming your body. I mean, I don't know that I don't really subscribe to the snapback because I know it takes a while postpartum for you to get your body back.
Yes.
But you get what I'm trying to say. It's just it help. I think it'll probably help repair your body better. Is that what you're saying? Trying to say, Jerry?
Yes. And like
You
yes,
agree?
I do. And like you said, snatch back from a given birth is not a 9 month thing.
The goal.
You that
Okay.
takes a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is not something your body just like kick back in and like I'm ready to go work out. And that's where the strength training
No.
comes in for women is like build your strength up for when you have to do go to that 36 hours of pain, that hour of pushing, like where you have strong legs, strong core, because your mind is going to be tough. Because once you see that child,
Yes.
it's going to be a different mindset for you guys. So it's like strength training will help with your body to help with the process of your mind during that birth period.
Wow. I never thought about it. That thought never, I don't even know why it didn't cross my mind even while we were talking. That strength training. So, of course, preparing your body not only physically but mentally, because going through a birth is a, it can take a toll on your mental. That's why we have doulas as well
Yes,
to help you prepare as well. But definitely, as you say, when you if you're someone who has to be in labor for a long time, you have that endurance, you have that strength. With you're not going to think about tapping out because one, your mind is already strong,
exactly.
and then of course your body. So that's good, guys. So I'm happy you said that, Jay. My maternal health heart is smiling really hard right now because sometimes that's not something you often hear about when it comes to one preparing your body for
Yes,
pregnancy. We just think about, oh, we need to eat healthy, which is true, but what about the physical
yes,
aspect of that as
because
well?
the
So
epidural
that's
doesn't
really
always
good.
kick in time for you to push that baby out. So
And that
as a
is true.
different strength added to everything else, you have to dig deep
Yeah.
and just go for it.
And even the mamas who don't use what is it, pain meds or even
Yes,
epidural, that's a whole different level again as well. So we know birthing is not easy. You got kids too, so definitely want to make sure that you're training your body. So no, that's something I'm gonna have to go think about now, guys, because I'm just thinking, oh, let me try to get these steps and let me do this for the phone or my. I don't have an Apple Watch, but for the phone,
yes,
and I wasn't thinking about one, me making sure that I have consistent bowel
exactly.
movements by way of working out, and also thinking about when it's time for me to have kids. That thought honestly did not cross my mind. But I'm here telling clients to go ahead and exercise and the benefits. But for me, for myself, I'm not thinking, yes, you need to be doing this too outside of them as well. So that I think I'm happy you
Yeah,
said that. Thank you
use
so
that
much for
hour,
that.
30 minutes or 45 minutes to like encourage yourself, talk to yourself while you're exercising. Well, not out loud, but if you if you choose to, then that's on you. But
Right.
like I said, I use that moment just for me, just to get away from everything else. So when it come to at night, I can like just go to sleep at peace and not be stressed and like, oh, I didn't get this done, I didn't do this. Like
Mm-hmm.
use that moment to like just appreciate like your body to be
You are
able
in the
to
journey.
move
Yeah.
the way it's moving, because not all of us
Hey,
are able
that's
to
real.
move the way we are. So
That is real. That is real. That is real. That is real. So tell me the difference between weight loss and fat loss. And I'm asking for myself, guys. I'm not even on the plus or even thick side, but I have gained compared to where I was in my life. I have gained. I'm no longer mager or skinny. But so what is? I'm in my mind. I want to lose 5 pounds or 10 pounds. But what is the difference between weight loss and fat
well, you
loss?
have to, when it comes to that, you have to be more in detail with your calories and protein intake. So
Hmm.
that's one thing you have to like test with your body to see how much you can take on a protein intake, because everybody's different. So I can't tell you you should be here, here, and here. Your journey
Right.
is going to be different. So I wouldn't call it weight loss versus fat. It will be your muscle mass versus fat, because you need
Hmm.
to lose that fat, but also maintain that muscle, and that's where the protein will come in to play, like your protein intake and eating healthy.
So tell me about protein intake. So if I'm trying to lose, you say muscle, was it muscle mass
Yes,
versus
yes,
fat? So I'm trying to lose whatever fat, but in order for me to be to muscle mass, meaning being
yes,
toned.
must be in tone. So you don't want to be trying to lose
So
that fat and then lose your muscle with that as well. You need to maintain both of them.
okay, and in order to do so, we got to have a diet that is high in
Yes,
protein.
and drinking a lot of
So where does
water.
the carbs come in? Listen, I'm trying to do that.
I know. I got on you about that. What, 6 months ago? That water
I
thing.
have a listen, I have a I'm from the Caribbean. It's not saying that we don't drink water, but sometimes my meal I'm trying to have the curry chicken, everything
Yes.
else. So how am I gonna lose weight? Well, how am I gonna incorporate more protein? So what are like high protein diets you would recommend, or not even that, but like food? Like what should we be intaking more of protein wise if we're trying to lose muscle mass? I
I
mean fat, but
I
trying to
am not
gain
a
muscle
dietitian,
mass.
so I would not go into that
Yes,
way.
we will put that disclaimer right
Exactly.
here, guys. He's not a dietitian, but he has from his experience, he can give one or two suggestions or an item of food that we can use. Do not sit here and say that we are telling you, we are advising you.
Exactly. I
Let
don't
me
want
put that
people coming
disclaimer.
into my
I'm
DMs
not a
and say, "Hey,
nutritionist, and we're all about educating and empowering here in Tea with Tanya. But at the same time, we are also not going to go outside of our scope of knowledge. But
yes,
what are some food that are essentially would be rich in
like your
um,
chicken and turkey,
protein?
like
Okay.
normal stuff that you like to eat. It's just the way, like finding that balance in your food that you eat. Because for me, if I want to lean out, I eat carbs for breakfast and lunch, and no carbs after
Hmm.
lunch. So for my dinner, it's going to be like more veggie based with chicken. I like some baked
Okay.
chicken. And then breakfast, I'll have like plantains with eggs and bread, stuff like that. Yes, the Caribbean side always stay there.
Okay. So I don't feel bad then.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's like cutting out that carbs before dinner time. Like I don't want that heavy because people tend to
Yeah.
eat heavy at dinner and tend to sit on the couch or lay in their bed, read a book, do something of that
Uh-huh.
sort. So it's like just watching what you're taking on throughout the day. So
Okay.
your diet doesn't have to be perfect, but make it consistent with your workout because
And also be
you don't
balanced.
need a flat stomach. That's people who just want to do it for the world.
Okay. Well, I need a flat stomach, but okay.
But you can be healthy in different ways. Your body might not look it, but inside is way more important than the outside.
Say that again because we're all about body positivity here, and I think sometimes we equate the size of someone
Yes,
to health. And on a serious note, like we definitely don't want to do that. It doesn't mean, for me, like I said, I'm someone who's on the slimmer side of things, but here I do have certain issues. Whereas somebody who may not be, the same size as me and they're way healthier,
exactly.
way physical or way active, they can run laps around me a million times without even getting as tired. Whereas I wouldn't even make it around one lap.
Yes,
So
that's
I'm
very
glad you said
important
that.
when you see some trainers and people like, oh, I could never train with a trainer who looks certain way. I'm like, you never know what their journey is and what their body's going through.
Yeah.
So they can
Hmm.
be certain way, but their physical part is like up to par. Because I've learned from a
Yeah.
trainer who his mindset is like crazy, but his body did not match what his
Mindset
mindset
was.
was, and it teaches you a lot. Like so, never judge and say, "Oh, I need a flat stomach to feel like I'm in shape." A lot of people can be
Hmm.
skinny fat in a way,
Me?
so it's like working out and finding that balance. Like
Well, I'm glad you said that, Jay, because I'm glad you said that because I've seen too many things on social media, us casting judgments against someone when, like, I mean, I've done it in the past. So I'm not going to sit here and like I didn't, like, had a little judgmental side eye of
yes,
someone. But then I realized quickly that, girl, you can't even climb a flight of stairs without passing out, trying to, feeling like you want to pass out. And that's when I realized that, yeah, I'm not as fit as I thought I was, let's say 10, 15 years
yes,
ago versus now. And then I'll see people who in my mind, I perceive to not be as healthy or not as physically fit, and they are. So that's definitely, I'm
and
glad you said
never
that.
on
Guys,
your
hear that?
fitness
So it doesn't
journey,
matter.
never look back on your past. Like, man, I can't do this when I was like 15. I know you keep bringing that up, but don't
Yeah, I
don't
do. I,
don't look back on your like past. Because I when I was playing baseball at what in high school for 4 years, I was in great shape. But now I'm
mm.
almost 40. I'll be 40 this year. My body can't.
No, you, oh, okay.
You know what? That's the end of this interview. My body cannot handle all those movements, lateral movements like that without doing some serious damage to it. And you need to
Mm.
understand your limits and understand that you're not the age that you were. Yesterday is yesterday. Leave that alone.
No, you're
Focus
right.
on
You're right.
thank God that you woke up today and like you can do this today. So that's why
You have movements of your body,
exactly just
right?
get up and start that journey of just like today I woke up, let's go.
Okay, that's a good way
Yeah.
to think, guys. Sometimes I know for me, like I've said throughout this interview, or when I was 16, I used to run track.
Yes.
I used to do
You
it.
can't go back to
In
that
my mind,
mindset.
I'm still thinking that I am 16-year-old Tanya when that's not my current season. That was many chapters, many
Yeah, that
seasons
was
ago.
years
So now
ago. Super years
I
ago.
have to meet my yes, I have to meet my body where it is.
Yes.
So two more questions as we wrap up. How can we set fitness goal? How can we incorporate more fitness into our lifestyle? I know we spoke about being busy and getting up, but I feel like that's probably asking the same question again. But how can it be? What do we have to do for it to now become a part of our lifestyle? Because for me, sometimes I'll start and I'll go one week working out and I feel like I'm a king or the queen. And then the following week, I may get busy doing something where I didn't get to work out that one
Yes.
day. Instead of trying to maybe walk or do some squats in the house or even go the next day, it just knocks me off of my whole schedule. And then before I know it, I'm not even working out
Well,
anymore, besides walking from the bed to the bathroom or from the bed to the car, stuff like that. So how can it become a part of our lifestyle? Because you do it, that's your lifestyle, even though it's a
yes.
job, but it's who you are. And I've seen other people who, if they don't work out, it's like they're gonna get sick, type of thing, because it's part of who it's like missing a meal, and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm supposed to have 3, 4, whatever meals a
Yes.
day. How can we make it a part of our lifestyle without us
Well,
slacking?
start a journal and know that life is a rhythm. So if you do miss a workout today, like if I skip a leg workout because I'm tired or I'm super busy with clients, I just switch up my program and just do the legs tomorrow and just continue on that journey. You can't, you,
You said keep a
yeah, keep
journal.
a journal. So like I write down like I'm doing legs today, back and biceps today, chest, triceps and shoulders and cardio. Then I just repeat the same thing over. If I have one day where
Mm-hmm.
my rhythm is off, I just push everything back because life is not gonna
Be
be
the
the same.
same.
Things are gonna pop up when you're busy with work. If you have
Mm-hmm.
kids, if you have a family to take care of, it's like all these come into play. So on your
Mm-hmm.
journey, just always make time for yourself and just like if that rhythm is off, get back into it.
I'm glad you said that because, like I said, in the previous episodes, and I spoke about structure, and I love to talk about journaling because I'm the queen of journaling. But I never thought about, journaling like an physical
Yes,
activity or even my workouts. One, I'm not a pro. If you're listening, you're not a pro either. But again, like he would have mentioned earlier, do I want to do strength? Do I want to do cardio? Like you can figure out, I'm going to run 30 minutes on a treadmill, or I'm going to run 30 minutes or 15 minutes around the
exactly.
neighborhood, but it's just having a plan. 'Cause like I said in the previous episode, we got a plan. We can't talk about doing or wanting to do something and not have the plan. So that exercise journal, we talk about journaling, about writing down things we want to achieve or, write down our
Yes,
feelings. But a journal, you can use a journal for so many different things. You can have a journal for finances. You can have a journal for, your mental health. And now, based on what Jay is saying, we can have a journal for our workouts and just plan. And if something happens again, life be life in,
as
you
always.
just push it back and try to rearrange or try to do something that's gonna still keep you active or physical so that you can have that peace
Yeah, a
of
lot of people
mind.
plan for their wedding, so why can't you plan for a workout?
And that is true. And then that's when people start working out because they gotta get into that wedding dress or
Exactly.
that suit.
You
So
you
of
start
course
that journey
you
before
gotta
you meet that
plan.
guy, so you always have that plan.
Yeah.
In fact, like I want my wedding to look like this. With your
Yep.
workouts, you want your plans to look like this, so you can get to that journey. You can get to. There's never an end because as a fitness guy, I never want to like, oh, I'll reach here and I want to stop
Right.
because I'm into like
It's
a
just
lot
it's,
of
it's
balance workouts, like working your core. I'm not crazy about like my arms need to be jacked, my chest need to be jacked. Like I'm gonna get old, I need
mm,
to have that balance where I can like stand up and
mm,
not falling over and my posture is not bad. So you
right.
have to, your journey should always change. Mine change every 8 weeks when it comes to my fitness
Ooh.
goals. So like 8 week program, I stick to it. Once again, if the rhythm is off, I get right back on there. There's nothing wrong with pushing back that time to get to your goal. It's just make sure you get to that one that you wrote down within that time, not time frame, but the one that you wrote down on your vision board. Make sure you
Yeah.
check it off before you're trying to move on to the next one. Is what I'm trying to say.
And I used to always say to myself, you have to master one thing before I can go on to the next. Because I'm the kind of person I'll start one thing and then I feel like I'm a pro, and then I end up doing the next thing, and then it's like, you didn't even complete, let's say
Exactly.
part one before doing part two. So definitely, especially if you're getting into your fitness journey, start that journal, have a plan, try to be consistent,
Yes.
and the expectations. I guess don't set. I guess what should we say? Not too high of an expectation, or leave room for not failure, but leave room for life to
Yes.
happen, if that makes
And don't
sense. For things to go off
don't
course.
look at other people's pictures and be like, man, I want to look like this. I want to look like that. God,
Really? Why you
because
say that? I'm
God created
curious.
you, for him, for His liking.
So if I say I want that Beyonce or Kelly Rowland body, I shouldn't be doing that. Is what you're telling
That's
me?
Beyonce,
As
because
motivation.
that's Beyonce and that's Kelly Rowland. Their motivation is different. They're doing that.
Oh,
They're
okay.
doing that to maintain their clients and to maintain that money coming in. That's why I said
And like you said, we got to do it for
if you're not
us.
making money on Instagram, you should be off Instagram.
Guys, he's hitting on Instagram, but I mean that's a
Hey, I'm
fact
just
too.
saying.
The time that we take scrolling on social media,
Yes.
let's try to dedicate even 10 to 15 minutes. Because I think for me, before we go, in my mind, I want to do a 30-minute workout, but I'm only able to do 15 based on my current season. I'm not even as active. I'm not even as fit as I call
Yes.
myself. So trying to do 30 in the beginning or trying to work out for an hour when I'm just starting out, it takes a toll on me. I can't even make it past 10 minutes sometimes because I'm starting, I guess, too big or doing too much versus starting
Yes.
little. So is that something that you think we should do?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I'm build?
have you ever tried running a marathon?
No.
Then there you go. It's a long process. When you
Oh, that was Shay.
I know what I'm saying is like
Okay.
when you're jumping into that 30-minute workout, don't jump in there like, oh, I'm going to kill it for the first 5 minutes. Then you look at the clock, you still
Okay.
have 25 minutes to go. You're like, I can't do this for the rest of the way. So trying to pace yourself within that 30
Mm,
minutes of workout. So hydrating yourself, eating healthy, make sure you get in your rest. And like we always go back to, like, life's going to happen. If something hurt
mm-hmm,
during that working out, find a modified version for you to do.
mm.
So you're not like,
Find
oh,
a
I can't
modified
do this, I'm
version.
going to give up. Oh, I can't do this, I'm not doing this today. It's like your body's going to ache, plan for different things ahead within that workout.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can't do a regular
I
push up, you
agree.
can do push ups on the wall. You can do push ups on your knees. Like you can do squats on the wall with like a stability ball behind you to help with the movements of your
So there's always an
joints.
alternate
Yes.
alternative.
So there's like different
That is
ways
true.
to do it.
I love to hear that. I have one more question for you. I know earlier we mentioned about, working out helps to put your mind at ease and you can go to sleep peacefully. Is there a specific time of day that we should work out? Because I've heard people say, oh, if you work out in the evenings, it's going to keep you up because your body or your heart rate, something along those lines. So that's why I was trying to switch, or I was doing early morning work because I'm a morning person
Yes.
regardless. When it comes to night, I need to be in my bed because I like to sleep too. But I will be up at the crack of dawn. It's just my internal clock decides that's what it is. But is there a specific time of day you recommend or that people should
No.
exercise?
Go off your schedule and go off how you're feeling that day. Like I like to work
Really?
at between like 3 and 6 o'clock. Anything earlier,
Mm-hmm.
my body feels off for some reason. I can also work
Hmm.
at 10 o'clock at night, but I prefer between 3 and 6 to work out.
Okay, so there's no correlation between us working out at 10 at night and then going to bed at
No,
midnight.
because for some people that helps ease your mind before you go to sleep. If you know that
Oh,
you can
I'm,
get
I'm
in
glad you
that
said that.
mindset of like I'm gonna go lay down and I can fall asleep, that's good for you. I have a client that gets up at 4 a.m. 3 times a week and train with me, and then go in and do a 12-hour shift because she's a nurse. So I'm like,
Wow.
it's your mindset. So if you're too busy, you
Yeah.
get up early and you just get the workout in.
Well, I'm glad you said that because I used to always think, I'm like, oh, by the time I get off work at 5 o'clock, it's gonna be too late, and I'm gonna be too active, and my mind is not
Oh,
gonna. But
that's
that makes
early.
sense.
Nah, you
Yeah.
can do that.
I mean, well, by the time you get home at six p.m. and then you gotta spin around and do something, and someone once told me, oh, you need to work out in the morning because nighttime. I don't even know why I didn't even fact check that, but you see people, doing certain things, and you try to listen to them based on
No,
maybe their experience, but
listen
I
to
didn't
your
know there
body
was.
and listen to yourself. Don't try to be. You're your own person.
I love that. And on that note, we'll wrap it up. Listen to your body. You know yourself.
Yes,
Mr. J, tell the people where they can find
I'm
you.
on.
Like I said, I know I found you on Instagram and you got all these different fabulous programs going on. So tell them where they can
I'm
find
only on
you.
Insta.
And of course, guys, I'll put it in the show
I'm
notes.
only on Instagram. I do have a TikTok, but I do not post on there because I'm so focused on my clients. I'm only focused on
Right?
Instagram
Hey,
because that's where I base all my pictures and videos on. So, Benton Evolution on Instagram.
which I'll put it in the show notes. And are you accepting
Always.
clients? I know you have a virtual.
I'm always looking to help people reach in their fitness, like help them along their fitness journey.
Okay, well, guys, if you are looking for a personal trainer, I can speak from experience by way of my best friend. And just from how he's in my DMs trying to tell me not to eat this or cut this out. Let
You
me
know
tell
what?
you, guys, it was
Hey,
harder. And let me tell you before you go, there was a point where I stopped posting on my Instagram what I was eating because I didn't want you in my DMs telling me don't eat that. But from his energy has always been good, guys. Like we never met in person yet, and just from hearing how my friend speaks about her journey, and she's been with you almost a year
yes.
now, and she has been seeing the changes, and she's the way she's talking. I'm like, girl, I'm not no fitness guru. I don't even know what you're talking about. But because of that, she's able to teach me based on what you're doing. So I can vouch for Mr. J. So I'll put his information if you're in the Chicago, what is it, Chi-Town
No,
area, you
just
can see him
Chicago.
in
Just
person.
Chicago.
And then, of course, he has his virtual
Training.
training where you can
And
be
also
anywhere in the
starting like
world where you
online
can
training pretty
definitely.
soon where I'm just starting to like sell program online. So
Well,
there
get
we
into
go.
it. I love that. So, you know what? I'm all about the elevation, guys.
Yes.
So, definitely, I'll put all this information in the show notes and we're going to try to get our fitness journey together. That's the goal of this whole
And stop
episode
telling
for us
people
to
I'm in your
understand that.
DM like that. That's it's not you get it you
Well,
get you're getting my
not
service for free, okay? When I sit
guys,
here and
listen, let
help
me,
you.
you see, You see, he's out here blowing my cover and telling my business. This is the true Jamaican Caribbean guy. This is
Hey,
okay.
I'm
Let me
just
tell you, that's
saying.
what they do. They put your business out the
I
road,
did
as we
not say
say.
anything.
But anyway, guys. But for real, if you're trying to get on your fitness journey, you're looking for a start, be sure to hit him up. I'm sure you've heard him. He's pleasant. My friend will say, "Oh my God, he worked me out today" or something. But there's always at the end there's a laughing matter or there's some sort of education and just fun times. Because
Exactly.
working out should be fun. Working out should be fun. It shouldn't be like a chore.
That is true. And you're not going to waste your money while
And
you
we
train with me. It's a
and you're
it's
not
an
gonna waste the money
investment with
while you get
it's an investment
say it
within
again.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
We invest in our nails, we invest in our hair. We invest in so many different things. Not even just if you're a woman or a man. Like there's so many other things that we invest our time
Yes.
into the social media as well. When we could be investing our money and our time into something that's gonna make us be the healthier version of ourselves. So definitely make sure you hit Jay up and tag me. Let me know what you're doing if you're in the gym. And I'm gonna try to. I told you I'm going to try to do better. So I'll try to document my journey, and of course keep that journal to see where I want to start first. If it just means walking 1 mile today, day one, and then day two is 2 miles, then I feel better hearing you said to keep an exercise journal where I can
Yes, because when you're lifting weights,
track
you
my
can always
progress.
track how heavier you have gone in your squats or
Mm-hmm.
whatever machine you're using or weight you're using. So it helps with your strength training.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr.
You're
J,
welcome.
and I hope to have you back
Well,
soon.
we'll be back talking about our childhood or something like that.
Yes, that we will. We will. Talking about
All
growing
right.
up in the Caribbean and surviving here in the US. That's another episode to
Exactly.
have. That's
Hey,
good.
that'll be 3 hours
All
long.
right. Really good. We can talk. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening
All right.
to Tea
Thank you
with
for
Tanya,
having
and
me.
I'll see you back here next week. And thank you for being here, Jay. I appreciate it.
Anytime. Thank you very much.